Hey guys.
Careful, a motorcyclist just lifted his visor and got stung in the eye by a bee.
By a bee? That's why I wear a visor. Everybody's got some horror story to tell about motorcycles. Ow! A bee flew in my friend's eye and stuck in his eye. Oh, sweet baby Jesus. Have you guys ever eaten so much that you feel like you can't breathe? Like your throat might swell shut, you might just keel over and die from burrito asphyxiation? Los Primos Cantina, it's a very authentic Mexican food close to where I live, and it is the bomb. But every time I go in here, I feel like I want to purge afterwards. We have a lady rider here. I think so. What's up, buddy? Ooh, he was on that all chromed out Moto Guzzi V7. I watched a comparison once actually with the Thruxton versus that, and the Thruxton was pretty much favored with the exception of appearance. But in every other way, they liked the Thruxton better. Anyway, hey, sorry I missed a week there, guys. I try to put something out every Wednesday, but I had to skip a week. That week that I did skip, I had a lot of stuff going on at work, and we had people that flew in from our satellite offices to the main office where I work, and so we had dinners and evening meetings and so forth, and it was just cutting into my editing time, and I had to skip a week. So fear not, I'm back, and I will still try to continue to maintain the every Wednesday vlog pace, but can't make any guarantees. Occasionally I might have to skip. Anyway, I really had nothing to talk about today, but then a car back there had a sticker on the back of it, 3 Greek letters, Pi Beta Phi, which is a sorority, and it was my fraternity's sister sorority in college. Yes, CNCycle was in a fraternity, a frat boy in college. Total waste of my time. Now, I have a lot of memories, I have a lot of fuzzy memories, but I've got some good stories. So that reminded me of stories. So guess what? It's CNCycle story time. So yeah, I have many stories to tell during my time in the fraternity, and I'm not going to disclose which fraternity I was in. I'll keep that secret, and I'll keep what school I went to secret too, although I think I might have mentioned it in one video. But anyway, the fraternity that I was in was known to be a bit of a party fraternity. First off, they're all party fraternities, but we were especially bad. Just debauchery at its finest. Bunch of idiots, and I guess I was one of them. Where was I? Oh, yeah, so, sorry guys, a lot of distractions today. This cutie pie in the Jeep is a bit young. So anyway, we were in trouble. We were on probation, double secret probation.
Delta's already on probation.
They are?
Yes, sir.
Oh. Then as of this moment, they're on double secret probation.
Anyway, we were very close to getting kicked off campus because of the amount of trouble that we've gotten into for various things. Hazing, drinking, parties, noise, disruption, menacing, general menacing. Check out the Rolls Royce. Oh yes, let's go out for our Friday drive since we don't work anymore. And so, but we still threw parties because we're idiots. So one night we had a party, and it got loud, it got out of hand, shocker, and the cops showed up. Now the cops can bust the party up, they can do what they want, they can ticket, they can cite, or they can notify the school. Now if the cops decided to notify the school, we would pretty much get kicked off campus. So the cops showed up, and they were really cool, and they said, hey, we know you guys are in trouble, and we don't want you guys to get kicked off campus because you're always cooperative. So we're going to go away, and we're going to come back in 15 minutes. And when we come back in 15 minutes, this house better be empty except for the guys that live here. Clear the house out. And we said, no problem, man, no problem. So the cops left, and we did. So music shut off, lights came on, And our biggest guys walked around and threw everybody out. Everybody, girls, guys, the whole deal. So down in the main room, we had a couple of video games, a pinball machine, and a couple of old school arcade games. And there was 2 guys up there that were not in the fraternity that were playing, and they were hammered, drunk, super drunk. And basically said, nah, we're not leaving. We're going to stick around and play some more games. So one of the guys in my fraternity, his name is Neil. He's about 6'5", 6'6", probably weighs about 230. Big, scary dude, crazy guy, hilarious guy, but crazy. He actually went on to become a Marine and went to Iraq and was actually shot in Iraq and spent some time in a wheelchair. He was not crippled. He's back on his feet now. Anyway, I digress. So Neil approached these guys very calmly and said, hey, look, guys, I need you guys to leave. And, we're in trouble. We'd love to have you guys stick around, but you got to go. The cops are going to come back, and if anybody else is in the house that doesn't live here, they're going to write us up and they're going to notify the school, and we're probably going to get kicked off campus. And the guys were basically like, fuck off, we're not leaving. So Neil still remained calm and said, look, I'm not going to ask you guys again. Either you're going to get out of here, or I'm going to drag you out of here, and you're not going to like it. And the guys, these 2 guys were both smaller than Neil, just basically said, nope, fuck off, we're not going anywhere. So that was it. Neil snapped, and he hauled off and just decked one of these guys in the face and just laid him out, knocked him out cold on the ground, turned to the other one before he even had time to react and did the same to him. Just cold cocked him. Boom. Head snaps back, on the ground they go. So these guys are sort of staggering around and getting up and trying to sort of fight back, and Neil gets a couple more shots in on them. And by the way, nobody else jumps in. Neil does this all by himself. He didn't need any help from anybody taking care of these 2 guys. So basically smacks these guys up into submission and then drags them out by their shirt collars, both of them, and pretty much just throws them out on the front lawn. And by this point, they were pretty bloodied up and not looking too good. So those guys walk off. Now, keep in mind, these guys did not lay a finger on Neil. The only thing that's scratched up on Neil is his knuckles. So he comes inside. Now, keep in mind, just like my last story, young and stupid and alcohol fueled. It's funny how a lot of my stories involve that, being stupid and drunk. So it comes back inside, and then all of a sudden panic starts to set in on Neil. If the cops come back and see these guys, they could say that we assaulted them, that we ganged up and beat up on them, that anything. They could tell any story, and we're already in trouble, and this could be the end of us. Not just the party, but also beating these 2 guys up for no good reason. I mean, these 2 guys could tell the cops any story, that they were just minding their business, trying to leave, and all of a sudden they just got assaulted by a couple of us, which wasn't the truth. But they could tell him anything, and it would have been their word against his word. He doesn't have a mark on him except for his knuckles. So, in our bleary logic, he says, I need you guys to kind of beat me up a little bit so it looks like I was defending myself. Makes perfect sense, right? And we're kind of like, what? He's like, yeah. He's like, I'm going to sit in the chair, and I want you guys, just to a couple of us that were in the fraternity, the cops come back, I want to make it look like it was a fight, and I was trying to ask them to leave, and they attacked me, and there's a fight broke out, and I was defending myself. Because right now it's their word against my word, and I don't know what the cops are going to believe. We're already on bad terms, so I want you guys to rough me up a little bit. Well, I guess that kind of makes sense. So Neil sits down in a chair, and it's like Fight Club. It's like that scene where Ed Norton beat himself up, except we beat him up. And so he says, okay, he says, here's the rules. You can't punch me in the nose. I don't want a broken nose. So, the jaw is fine, the cheek is fine. On the side, don't hit me square in the eye, but on the side of the head is cool. And I gotta get over. So some of the guys were kind of like, I'm not punching you, man. If I punch you, you're gonna react and you're gonna punch me back. And I don't want that. He's like, no, I'm not gonna punch you back, I promise. They're like, no, we know you. You're gonna react because when you get hit in the face, you react and you get angry. He goes, no. He goes, well, tie my hands behind the chair so I can't. So I'm like, oh, well, that makes sense. That's a great idea too. So somebody had a piece of rope or a bungee cord or something. So we did it. We tied his hands behind the chair. So I did it. I said, all right, man, I'll step up. I'll do it. I said, you want me to count to 3? Or do you want me to just surprise you? And he said, I think he said count to 3. And so what I did was, I said, well, I'll turn your head to the side a little bit. You know, I don't want to hit you in the nose. And he goes, okay, all right. I said, look, man, you can't freak out because you're going to kick my ass if this, you know, I don't want you to react. He goes, so I think what I did was I just counted to 2, like I was going to count to 3, and then I hit him on 2. So it was 1, 2, and I clocked him right in the side of the face. And he got mad, but he didn't do anything. So a few other guys did the same. They smacked him up a few times, and he said, okay, I'm good. And by this time, his face was getting a little puffy. It's got a little blood coming out of his nose. And yeah, he looked like he got into a fight. Oh yeah, the cops never came back.